first joined the RDF program, it was the RDF? 2011-12, and I started. I was the first person to go in, and I went in thinking, let's go and find solutions to the problem. If you look back in Dagenham, a lot of the students who come to our college are students who don't want to do maths or English because their parents didn't do it, their grandparents didn't do it, their great-grandparents didn't do it, so who cares? And I went to the RDF program thinking, or the research program thinking, let's go find a solution on how we're going to engage the learners. And that year, because we had a lot of learners involved in the project, we began to identify a lot of problems. Learners began to tell us why they didn't want to come to class. And as a result of that, we started to look for solutions. And these guys have been involved in, and there are two other people who are also on the project this year. And what we've been trying to do through the last 4 years, through action research, is to find solutions to these problems. So.
Thank you, Tinyan. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Laurence Johnson, and I work at College. Tinyan approached me a few years back and asked me, I'd like you, told me, I'd like you to take part in a research project at Sunderland. And
not for the food.
Yeah, and there's the thing. I went back and told my wife, I've been invited to a research project in Sunderland. She went, really, you're going on a jolly again. Okay. I thought so as well, but it actually didn't turn out that way. Today I want to talk about my experience, and my experience of actually going to Sunderland. Certainly hit me on the second day. We had some inspirational speakers. The first one was Paul. Yeah, he came
Same sides.
Same sides, by the way. Absolutely superb. I'll never forget that, especially when he's talking about dancing on the edge, opening perspective, won't forget it. And then that went into listening to Frank Cofield. I've waited all my life to listen to speakers like that, that had an opinion, and it wasn't coming from my college. There were people, talking about things that affected education and leadership. I was really blown away. I was actually speaking to my team before we came here. I was telling them about a little story. A couple of weeks ago, my son, he finished his GCSEs and was looking for a course. I said, okay, we'll go to Havering Sixth Form. That's where you want to go to. Okay, we're Havering Sixth Form. And he said, the principal is about to do their speech. Would you like to go in? So we walked in, and straight in front of me was Paul. Shocked. I said, come on. I'll introduce you. My wife went, what? What are you doing? I said, come. So my son came. Paul, my son Tyler, and my wife Kim. How do you know him? Do I know you? I said, we met at Sunderland. Oh, fantastic. And that put my wife at ease. It put my son at ease. It's a fantastic introduction to the college. And I'm sure he does that for every student. But for them, that was something they'll never forget. Going on from there, one of the things about the experience of that is that sometimes when you're working in the college, you can feel isolated. In your role, you can feel isolated. No one's listening to you. No one's like, you're so busy. Everyone's doing their own thing. And you actually went to an event, or a series of events, where there were a lot of people in the same boat, wrestling with the same problems. And it was great and fantastic to be part of that as well. The other thing about doing research, it sharpens your mind. I actually went back to become a student, and I could then, empathy was starting to build up and empathise with my students, what they're going through, and what I demand from them was being demanded from me. And so, and also I think it's really good that from time to time, you are tested, you are challenged. You have to produce the goods on time. I went in, and Tinyan did say to me, before you go, don't forget, they're going to mess you about. Yeah, I did mess you about. I put my ideas on the table, give me that idea. Let's start again. Yeah? Do you remember that, Mickey? Yes, I wasn't going to mention any of those. Making a difference. The experience there, making a difference. Yeah, I finished my research project, and I was shocked and amazed when I found it on the internet to go and read. I then shared it with the rest of the college, and I got some great feedback from certain people. But one of the things that I did enjoy was Havering College. A director actually phoning me up not Havering Sixth Form, by the way, Havering College, phoning me up and saying, Laurence, can I get a copy of your research paper, please? Great. And for me, that experience, I'll never forget. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Paul Roberts, also part of the team. For me, Laurence came back, told me all about his experience. He's jolly. He told me to jolly. He told me to jolly. Tinyan obviously passed the mantle over to Michael and I, and we got an opportunity to go to Sunderland, which was great. We again were sort of perhaps rebels with a cause or without, because I don't know. We were flying up to Sunderland and met the three amigos. It was fantastic. You know, we were blown away by what happened, and we did the same. We had this idea of, you know, changing English and maths and GCSE and everything about initial assessment. Yeah, we're going to change it all, we're going to save the world. And Maggie's like, whoa. And we sort of stripped it back and stripped it back and stripped it back until we got, you know, she finessed our idea. She gave us the experience that she's got. She passed over to us to move forward and look in the right directions, the books to look in, the people to talk to. You know, the people we've met since we went on the RDF or the ETF program have been phenomenal. You know, we've made friends in lots of different colleges. Even today, I met Paul, who actually I was an ex-student of Havering Sixth Form before Paul's time. But yeah, these sort of people you meet are just fantastic. But what we kept saying to Maggie was, what he kept saying actually was, oh, our college aren't going to like this if we do this. Maggie's like, don't worry about what they think. You've got to convince them. You've got to go to your principal and say, this will work. This idea will work. And if it doesn't, you try another idea. She gave us that power to say no. Often I was in class doing things every day thinking, why am I doing this? This is rubbish. But I just did it. Just went along year in, year out, following the same procedures. Why? Perhaps because I'd never been given the opportunity to step away, look at what I'm doing, perhaps stand on that balcony and look down at my class and think, oh, what are you doing? And Maggie was like, don't worry about it, go for it. If you are well informed through the research, your principal, our principal Kathy, will take that idea. And I remember having an interview with Kathy recently, and she said, Paul, it's up to you to convince me that your idea is good. And so far, we have convinced them a few ideas. And that's what RDF, the ETF has given me personally.
Yeah, I think research is, in this format, it's a platform. It's a platform to get your voice out. We came up with the idea, as Paul said, or we had a kind of thread to pull, and we pulled away at it, and we didn't really know where it was going to lead us. That was the kind of joy of it. It was very open-ended, and we wrote our paper. We submitted that last summer, and we had all these findings, and it was basically, to praise it, it was initial assessment. Our college isn't that great. Initial assessment of English, as we found it wasn't great. And that was it. The paper was ended, and we kind of left it at that. But that wasn't the end of the journey. And we kind of kept going, and we pushed and pushed, and we're still kind of developing a new assessment platform now. Now, one of the privileges, as Paul mentioned, is when you go on these RDFs, you meet other people. We met Gwyn Chamberlain from Bath City College, and she was the quality manager there. And she said, you know what, you guys are looking to assessment, yeah? Don't look at English assessment, look at Australian assessment. They know where it's at. The Australians are miles ahead of us. So there's me, naive, going, okay, well, yeah, there's a whole world out there. We're all working towards the same goals, ultimately. So went away and researched, and last summer, before the students came back, so it was like early August, we kind of struck upon this amazing Australian assessment, and that kind of formed the platform for our new initial assessment. And that's what we're kind of enacting now. And that's what we're going to be pushing for September 2015. So our students are going to be using that kind of platform. And that was all thanks to ultimately Gwyn, and that was ultimately thanks to the RDF. You know, it was that kind of chance meeting and that sharing and collaborating. I mean, in education, we're very fortunate. We all work with one another, work towards the same goals. There's no kind of it's mine. It's rather this is mine and get it out there, you know, and share. So yeah, very privileged, and the residentials and whatnot were fantastic.
And just to finish, I want to talk about the impact on the college. I think for us, the big thing is when we started, we had a problem with learner engagement. But because of all the things we have done and found out and are trying out, and unfortunately you won't be able to visit Daniel and Pilar, but they've been looking at flip learning. We are beginning to practice these things in class, and we're finding it easier to get our learners engaged. We're finding it easier to get our learners into the classroom. We're finding it easier for our learners to do homework because they're actually doing some of this on the bus, on their way home. So for us, learner engagement has improved. It's easier for us. And like Paul said, we're finding it easier to say to management, we need this, and we need that, and we need that. And we somehow, maths and English, apart from the government policy, has become central in the college. In fact, when you come into the college, the first thing you see is the maths and English hub. All of those things came out of this research finding. The learners said they wanted their space. The learners said they wanted exciting lessons. The learners said they were tired of worksheets. The learners said, and the learners said, and we listened. And the only reason we had time to talk to them and to listen to them was because we had the RDF fund that released us from our classrooms. So for us, it's been huge. And that's why we've been in there for 4 years and we keep coming back. Because a lot of things have happened in the college, apart from the fact that my title has changed 3 times. Because the first time I presented this to the SLT, my principal said, "You've got great ideas, Tinyan, put your money where your mouth is." And she gave me a new position where I had to head the maths and English area. So a lot of things have happened as a result of the research, and we're really proud and grateful that we've had this opportunity. Time to think, because that was one of the things we found out when I did my second research on JPD. The staff said, we need time to think. And I went back to SLT and said, I've just done a research. The staff said they need time to think. How do we do that? Give us Wednesday afternoon off. And they said, okay, go try it. So now, no maths or English teacher teaches on Wednesday afternoon. It's our time to think. That's what's happened as a result of the research. When we have findings, we walk back straight to SLT. That's the dancing on the edge. We heard that from Paul. And we go to them, we present our findings. It's been great. Dagenham Dagenham College, maths and English, has gone where it is because we've had this great chance. So we're here and we're grateful.